Dear baseball, from the first time I remember my dad telling me to get dressed and meet him outside with my new bat and my new tee, I knew you were just more than the game. You've been a blessing in my life, not just for the opportunities that you've given me, but for the person you've helped me become. Through every wins and losses, you've taught me patience, to trust the process even when things don't happen overnight. You've taught me humility, that matter not how good I am, there's more things to learn. And you've taught me hard work, that success isn't handed out, it's earned pitch by pitch, rep by rep, and day after day. Because of you, I've traveled to places I've only imagined going and competed in levels I've only dreamed of.
That ball hit out to the right center field alley, and Silas Butler running on, he comes up and makes the catch. Silas Butler came on and do the X. Oh, what a legend.
Most importantly, I've met people that I've never thought I've come into contact with. Coaches, teammates, mentors, and many of them have become like family to me. Speaking of family, thank you for teaching me how important mine is. Their support has been my backbone through my journey and has brought me clear to this point today. Above all, just remember to keep God first. You've been a platform of my faith, a place where I can compete fearlessly, love deeply, and stay grounded in who I am and what I believe in. With having so much grace and attitude, walking in my faith, baseball, you have given me more than I can ever dream of. You have been a teacher, a friend, a motivator, and a blessing. I'll carry these lessons, relationships, and memories for the rest of my life. And don't forget, if you're not having fun, you need to be done. Sincerely, go crazy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Dear Baseball. I'm Dave Siseski alongside
Ben Gillard.
And today we're with a hopper, a center fielder, a talented outfielder who can hit home runs, steal bases, Mr. Silas Butler.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for coming
Thanks
on.
for having me on.
coming on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we heard your letter. First off, I felt like I could kind of envision myself there through the journey. So I really much enjoyed that. But I wanted to start from the beginning for you, right? So the love of baseball, where did that begin for you?
I would have to say just me and my dad in the backyard. You know, just off the tee, the old Walmart set, you know, the traditional back home baseball, you know.
Yep.
I would say it had to start there.
So we were talking a little bit off camera too, and you said, you know, you guys would be hitting baseballs outside, and then you got a little bored. How'd that conversation go?
Well, my dad didn't like it too much because, you know, I was kind of rough as feathers a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we was hitting off the tee, and, you know, after a while, I'm like, you know, I'm sick of this. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. So he's like, all right, let's kick it up a notch. So he starts throwing little flame balls at me. And he goes, boop, boop, boop. Started knocking them over the fence.
Like curveballs?
Oh, everything.
Okay.
I was ready to go at that. I thought so at that age. But little did I know I had a lot to learn. But, you know, we would wake up every morning, the baseballs be sitting right there waiting on us. The neighbors was already with the program.
So it's funny how those memories shape us, and like we do anything to go back into those moments. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It really is. And so then you get to organized baseball. Where does that start? Is that T-ball? Or are you straight into kid pitch?
Well, it started off, I would say, you know, like pretty much the average kid, like the YMCA.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once you get a hang of that, they kind of knock it up to the rec ball.
Okay.
And then once you get you got to grasp that a little bit, they kick it up to the travel ball, and, you know, it just kind of elevated like that.
Like, you're really quick. I want to make sure everybody knows too.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Georgia?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. All right. That's where all this is taking
Yes,
place.
sir.
The ATL.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, we mentioned at Chipper Jones's last game.
Hey, that was.
What
that
was that like?
Now, as a kid,
Was you there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Left field.
Okay.
Left center. I'll never forget it because he definitely got to hit that game.
Yeah.
And everybody went nuts.
Yep.
And I was just thinking to myself as a kid, like, could you imagine being in the box and just hearing that roar? And it was just something I could never forget, and I just been chasing it ever since.
Yeah, I mean, like we talk about, you know, and we're gonna get to the USPBL too, but like chasing that roar. I mean, you guys playing baseball, it's a grind.
Absolutely.
Right? Like there are good days, there are bad days, and it's baseball, right?
Yeah.
That's what we've heard from a lot of these letters. What has baseball taught you? And looking back in your early days, what advice would you give yourself?
Some advices I would give myself would definitely be patience and just understanding how to control what you can control.
Yeah.
And just, leaving it up to God at the end of the day. And the chips are going to fall how they need to fall.
Love that. Maybe not call your dad old man.
Yeah. Don't
Just
tell him
saying,
he's getting
folks.
bored now. Don't tell him he's getting bored.
Put a little speed on that, right?
Yeah.
May come at your head. You never know.
Right.
You never know.
Go full Pedro Martinez on
Oh
it.
yeah.
So high school for you. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Arabian Mountain,
Okay.
DeKalb County. We were like a 5A school.
Yeah.
Pretty good number-wise. Wasn't really a baseball school, I would say. Don't tell nobody I said that. But we were more of like a football,
Yeah.
track. More of like a magnet school kind of. But it was definitely an experience, especially being in Metro Atlanta. You get to meet different people from different walks of life. So
Right.
it kind of opened my eyes before I actually started to travel and play. And, it was a good experience for sure.
Did you know center field was that your spot all the time? And did you play anywhere else, or when did you know, hey, this is, because right now you're an outfielder, but you're a center fielder. So
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Actually, growing up, I've been a utility all the way up until when I graduated college.
Wow.
So even pitching, that was just something I had a passion for. Like, however I can influence the game, that's what I'm going to do.
Wow.
So, just growing up, I kind of dibble and dabble, but
We were just trying to figure out, how you became a center fielder, but it makes sense because that's what happens with a lot of guys. Play a little bit of different positions and make your way there eventually.
yeah. Well, growing up in Atlanta, it's really competitive.
Yeah.
Like all the sports, I would say, baseball, football, basketball, just like, Texas, Florida, and other big states like that. So, finding that spot growing up, when I finally got into high level, I would consider high level travel ball, like the East Cobb and, going to those big tournaments, there was already guys that kind of solidified spots. So it was more of a, where can I fit in? Where can I be of value to this team? How can I get in front of, this school? Everybody had their dream schools growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of just finding my niche and just like honing in on it.
Makes sense.
And you talk about those big travel tournaments. We've talked to a couple guys from the South, from that area. It's different down there.
Oh yeah.
It is here. But what was that like, that process of just that recruiting process is so grueling going into college? How was that like for you?
Oh my gosh. I would say that was one of the hardest decisions that I've ever had to make. I actually didn't make my decision to play baseball in college until the night before.
Oh, wow.
So it was either playing college football or I was going to be playing college
Was it a
baseball.
coin flip or what was it?
Almost. It was almost a coin flip, but ultimately, like you said before, it goes back to those memories. And when it came down to it and just thinking smart and longevity-wise, like what would be the smarter decision? And then just my love and passion for the game. And it's just like, it's hard to play the game. So I feel like you get a different type of respect from, people looking from the outside in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, we talked a little bit also about how you worked out with former center fielder for the Seattle Mariners, Mike Cameron. We've got to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
How'd that come about?
Mike Cameron, I love Mike Cameron. Can't say nothing but good things about him and his family. Daz Cameron as well. The whole Mike Cameron facility, Jeremy, Zach, all them guys, Logan, because it's definitely was a growing process, and especially for the kids in that community, we really didn't have a lot of places to go to work out, to train, and to get that, that information from the high level, straight from the source. They all were hands-on and really in tune with, developing kids and, getting them to the next level, getting them opportunities. So it was really a blessing to be around, big leaguers and big leaguers to come, because eventually, it helped me in the long run get to where I am now.
To the big leagues eventually, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there we go.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was going to be my question, was where are we going? But at the same time, Mike Cameron, when you say Mike Cameron, you think center fielder. Does that did that play in a little? You talked about how you want to do whatever it was to help your team out, but at the same time, you're training with one of the greatest center fielders.
Right.
Literally.
Right. I definitely say it had a little bit of role. And then there were some other guys too, his son, Daz Cameron, he's an outfitter as well. And my trainer, Jeremy, he was an outfitter as well. I have another friend, Zach Daniels, one of my best friends, center fielder as well. So I definitely say, those early mornings, waking up 5 a.m., 6 a.m., with Mr. 7000 throwing us BP, yelling at us to hurry up and get warmed up so he could start throwing. All those memories are just like, they're great. They're great. There's stuff you really don't take for granted, and you can really look back at those relationships and value them and cherish them.
Yeah. And so now transitioning over to college, once you get to college, what was that transition like? You talk about how competitive it is in Atlanta. What was the transition like? You went out to Tennessee, I believe.
Yes, sir.
College.
I went to Walter State. It's in Morristown, Tennessee. Probably like 30, 45 from Tennessee, and probably like an hour or so from ETSU. So yeah, that I would say that Atlanta prepared me for it because of the hustle and bustle and just everybody wanting to get to that next level and to be the best. It's tough because ultimately everybody can't be the best. So everybody's grinding for that trophy or just to be the best that they can be. So going on to college, I went into Walter State. Boom, first day one, there's 80 kids out there. I'm like, wait, hold on. How's this about to work? Because the last time I checked, there was 9 people on the field at a time. So something's going to go down. So I need to get my mind right, really lock in if this is something I want to do. And that really gave me a little sneak peek into the business of the game and, how real it gets as far as production and, being a good team guy, being a good leader, just being good on and off the field. And it really shaped me.
So I want to ask you too, because something that we touched on with a few players is the mental health side of the game, right? Because that's something that finally is starting to get more attention.
Right.
Because you expect a lot out of young men and young women, right? It's either, hey, great job winning, why did you lose, right? It's all about that success. How did you handle that for your mental health?
I feel like family, number one, is big because we constantly check in with each other, have, group FaceTime calls and stuff like that. So I feel like checking on your people is important and just understanding that you have people around you. And we all go through different things, different days. And I feel like baseball has really helped me understand that because, some days you can come out and you go 4 for 4 and feel great. And then you can come out the next day and go 0 for 5 and feel like you've never touched a baseball bat, a glove, or anything like that in your life. So, it's definitely a humbling experience, but it's definitely helped me, keep going throughout the game.
That's awesome because we always see you smiling. I mean,
that's, you know what I'm saying? You got to.
Right.
Pass the good vibes along.
I love it.
I mean, you had a lot of reasons to smile in college. You said you played in 2 World Series.
I did. I was blessed enough to play in 2 World Series again with Walter State. Play with a lot of great guys there, and even some of them you've heard today, like Ben Joyce. That was one of the guys that I played with. But the list goes on and on and on and on again. And each one of those guys had a key role of, helping me perfect my game and, just allow myself to be myself.
So your game, it improves. You get that opportunity to be in 2 World Series. How does the opportunity at the USPBL come about?
Honestly, all I can say is God.
Yeah.
It was a blessing, honestly. And I had a former coach that I played with up in Canada for the Red Sox. And I love him to death. Shout out to him. That is my guy.
What's
I love
his name?
him. Rye, Coach Rye.
Okay.
Coach Rye, I love you. If you see this, just know you my man. But I got a blessing to be able to go up there and play with him. And that group we had up there was almost like the Hoppers, but obviously a different level. We were in college, so we were still on that college grind. But he really put a good team together of not just baseball players, but young men. So while we're playing and we're grinding on the field, we also hung out a lot off the field.
Love that.
And we got to know each other because, you know, again, we're from different places, but so, you know, you stay with some of them guys, you share a bus with them guys, hotel with them guys. So, you know, you want to get to know who's around you
That's
a little
your family,
bit.
right?
It's family for life at that point.
Yep.
And, you know, some of those relationships, you, like I said, you look back at it, you just never regret it.
Awesome.
I gotta ask about, because I've been in a couple of the dugouts here in the USPPL during the games, and I gotta say, Hoppers won probably the most tight-knit dugout I've been in. What's it like being with those guys? You all seem so close, and it's such a fun atmosphere.
Oh yeah. First of all, go Hoppers. That's for Dylan right there, because I know if he was here,
Ben's
he would
in
yell
trouble,
that.
by the way.
Yeah. Again, like most guys would, you know, dream of having a locker room like this, and it's been like that since spring training. It seems like, and it's just like every day it's just closer and closer and closer and closer. And like you said, these guys become family. You get it just makes the chemistry on the field just that much better. Because sometimes I can look to my right and look at Sam, or I can look to my left and look at Andrew, and we don't even have to say a word. We just get the movement automatically. Or I can look in at Gio, or, you know, whoever's playing the infield that day, and that communication is just unheard of sometimes. You got to work for a long time to, you know, build chemistry like that with teams, and ours was just, you know, right off the bat. So I feel like that's like the best case scenario.
It's wild that a team like that was just put together almost by random, because it's like there's so much talent all around the
Oh my
diamond.
gosh.
I mean, we've already talked about some of the pitchers that you have here, and I don't want to even start naming people because I'll forget guys because there's so much talent. But a lot of times we get hyped up even in the broadcast booth because you'll make a big catch and you'll throw up the X.
Oh
right?
yeah, I got to.
So I know how that came about, but why don't you tell people out there where that came about, because it's kind of cool.
Well, I thought about, like I said, I made my decision to play baseball the day before my signing day. So I've always had a love and passion for the football, especially when that season starts to roll up and you see those commercials, and you know what I'm saying? It just gets you riled up. So I was a big fan of Dez Bryant back in the day.
Yeah.
And I just loved his demeanor and just like how he attacked the game, and he really, really had a love for the game. So when I threw the X up, that was just, you know, kind of doing a little shout out to him, but it would be for the haters. So, you know, for all the naysayers and, you know, the people that didn't believe in you, you know, it was for them. And then for anybody out there, you can do it.
Man,
You just got to put your mind to it.
Yeah, you just gotta put your mind to it. I think there's only one last question left to ask, and that's, what's next for Silas Butler?
What's next for Silas Butler?
I mean, you got something to your right.
Not,
now.
you know, just throwing hints over there. I don't know. I mean,
Well, for people out there that's familiar with the lingo out right now, this is my ball. This is my ball. Well, absolutely. Well, first case of business is for the Hoppers to hold up this big thing at the end of the year and get a ring. And after that, wherever God takes me. Obviously, you know, the off season would be coming up, and, you know, training and stuff like that would probably be my main focus. But as soon as it's over with, I'll probably go and spend some time with my family and just hang out with them and just, you know, decompress and take it all in.
love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the perfect place to end it. Thanks so much for coming.
Absolutely,
Silas.
absolutely.
Thanks,
I appreciate you.
Thanks for watching, guys. It's another episode of Dear Baseball. Peace.
Peace.